You might notice it's a little bit warm to be winter in the Northern Hemisphere. I'm down here, very luckily, at the MCG in Melbourne in Australia, commentating on the Ashes. Now, less said about England's cricketing performance, the better. But we haven't forgotten about you cycling fans. Yes, it's here in Australia that in around a month's time the World Tour will begin. Before we get to the new season, though, time to have a look back at 2025. We've got Pogacar, Yates, UAE Emirates, Pauline Ferrand-Prevot. It all starts here. My word, that was sensational.
Vive la France!
It's going to have a beautiful, emotional ending. It's a fourth Tour title for Tadej Pogacar. He's turned from disruptor, entertainer and young winner into all-conquering terminator.
This is the big race-winning move. Welcome back, Pauline Ferrand-Prevot, Paris-Roubaix femme winner.
And how about that? He's beaten the sprinters at his own game.
And Pidcock is dropping Vingegaard. Pidcock is getting better and better as this race goes on.
Kim Lecourt makes history here in the Tour de France femme, takes the win. She's already worn yellow, now she takes the stage.
They're all coming to the line together, they do, and it's Skjelmose who's done it. Matthias Skjelmose beating the Olympic champion and the world champion. It's incredible.
No, Gigante's gone. Gigante has attacked Longo Borghini. Gigante going for her second stage win at this year's Giro d'Italia Women. Sarah Gigante, take a bow, stage win number 2.
It is going to be a stage win for the European champ. Wiebes takes it ahead of Balsamo, Kopecky, Longo Borghini.
It's Soudal who has it, and magic from Mathieu. Mathieu Soudal wins the stage and will pull on the yellow jersey.
Demi Vollering defends La Vuelta in incredible fashion.
Right then, where else to start than with someone who may well be closing in on becoming the undisputed GOAT of the sport, Tadej Pogacar. It's been another year in which, yet again, he's made us rethink what's possible. A season where he put his hands in the air 20 times, not quite as often as the previous year, but with one less Grand Tour contested, it's certainly no less impressive. He added a further 3 monuments to his tally too, Tour of Flanders, Liège and a record-equalling Lombardy.
I always say 7 years in a row I say this is my best season far, and again I can say this is the best season so far.
It's a scary race, and it is full of danger flashpoints. And Tadej Pogacar's making his move.
I will accept the challenge and try to do my best. With this shape that I have now, I should give it a try.
And it is Tadej Pogacar, a long way out, doing what Tadej Pogacar does best. Pogacar now moving up left-hand side as we look at it. And here he goes to the front, Tadej Pogacar at the front on La Redoute. He's seated, he's moving, and straight away was a gap. And Pogacar continues his quest to be the best, and he crowns a sensational sprint. And the first man ever to be on successive monument podium. Here we go, Tadej Pogacar attacks. Coppi has company, and it's Tadej Pogacar. A 50th solo win, a 10th monument, and the first ever to 5 on the bounce. You have just witnessed a moment. Sensational. Nobody can stop him.
Those 3 victories take his total monument haul to 10, putting him alone in 3rd place overall on the all-time lists of wins in cycling's biggest one-day events, now sitting just behind Roger de Vlamingh and the cannibal himself, Eddy Merckx. It wasn't quite a clean sweep of the monuments, however.
Milano-San Remo remains a tough nut to crack. An attack on the Cipressa, an attack on the Poggio. What more can he do to win? And an almost golden debut at the Hell of the North saw him go toe-to-toe with arguably the #1 cobbled classics rider of his generation, Mathieu van der Poel. That until a mistake and a crash allowed the Dutchman to open up a gap.
Oh, and an issue for Pogacar. Pogacar is down, he's going to be quickly up, and he needs to get quickly up because Mathieu van der Poel is just ahead of him, and the race here is on. Mathieu van der Poel is ahead, Tadej Pogacar is having a nightmare, he needs the fans to help him, the cars are getting behind him, we said anything could happen at any moment, and now Van der Poel looks behind, he sees cobbles, empty road, and it's all his, as it's one of those moments we all feared. Today, hell turns to heaven. 3 in a row. It's a hat-trick in hell. Not only can he stand the heat, but Mathieu van der Poel remains ice cold.
Moving to the summer now, and once again the Slovenian was the main protagonist at the Tour. Jonas Vingegaard was said to be revitalised. Could he rise to the challenge and regain the yellow jersey?
The opening week was raced hard, and the Danish rider looked as though his different approach, a more carefree, attacking style, was keeping him in contention. That was, however, until 2 destructive days in the Pyrenees.
There's no hiding today, so you have to go full gas today, tomorrow, and also the day after.
I have a super strong team around me that support me. I'm so grateful that I can rely on them, even if I have hard day today. But I hope not.
Today is the day we've all been waiting for, and the gates to the Pyrenees are now open. Oh my word! This is absolute domination. Almost half a century later, a world champion wins a Tour de France mountaintop finish. There's a long way to go in this Tour de France, but it is already a long way back for Jonas Vingegaard. Pogacar in complete control. Vingegaard has to go back to the drawing board, has to find his very best again.
First true mountain time trial in 21 years.
All eyes now are right here.
The tactic was all out from the beginning to the top.
And Jonas Vingegaard, who started 2 minutes after Remco Evenepoel, rides up the hill and is right back in the fight.
Yesterday was probably one of my worst performances, and today was one of my best. So of course it's nice to come back like this, and yeah, I think I can be happy at least.
I almost blew up in the end, but I saw the timer on the top, and I was it gave me an extra push because I saw that I'm gonna win.
21 Tour de France stage wins for Tadej Pogacar, the youngest rider ever to that number. At the end of the day, now leads the Tour de France by more than 4 minutes.
Those 2 days were enough. He wouldn't claim another stage win after that, but he would pull on the yellow jersey for the 4th time in Paris, though not before one final flourish on the new finishing circuit in the French capital. More of that later on. He's now just 1 title away from equaling the greats, Merckx, Hinault, Indurain and Anquetil. Pogacar also became the first rider ever to win the Tour de France and the World Championships in back-to-back seasons, after taking victory at the first ever African Worlds held in Rwanda. GOAT, the debate will roll on. It's difficult to compare eras and make balanced assessments whilst riders are still active. But one thing's for certain, he is in the conversation. Let us know your thoughts on that in the comments section below.
All of those wins didn't just set records for Tadej Pogacar. The Slovenian, along with his band of brothers at UAE Team Emirates XRG, set new standards, winning a whopping 97 times, demolishing a tally that had stood since 2009, when HTC Columbia won 85 times.
From one super team to another, and a rider who has redefined sprinting in the women's peloton, Lorena Wiebes of Estée Works adding a further 2 stage wins at the Tour de France Femmes avec Zwift.
Wiebes on the outside. Vos, Wiebes is there. Is it going to be Marianne Vos? Here comes Lorena Wiebes. Wiebes takes it. Here comes Lorena Wiebes in that green jersey. Wiebes on the front does not want to miss out on another stage victory here. And Lorena Wiebes takes it from Vos and Balsamo. Wiebes on the right, Vos on the left. Is it going to be Lorena Wiebes for the stage win? And they throw the bikes on the line. Lorena Wiebes, true to form, takes it. Now Lorena Wiebes opens up the sprint for SD Works Pro Time. Marianne Vos challenging. Lorena Wiebes comes through, and it is win number 108. Here goes Lorena Wiebes up the right-hand side. It's green jersey, yellow jersey. Wiebes looks back. Vos trying to come through on the line. Wiebes takes it. Lorena Wiebes does it again.
The Dutch rider also reached a career milestone, hitting 100 wins before her 27th birthday. She reached that tally and then simply carried on winning. With 25 victories this year alone, she now sits on an amazing 118 career victories.
It is a drag race between Daiger and Kopecky as Wiebes launches the move, but Balsamo is right on the wheel and Charlotte Cole is there. Wiebes down the centre. Is it going to be the century now for Lorena Wiebes as she crosses the line? 100 career victories for Lorena Wiebes.
That puts her third overall in the win rankings in the women's peloton, though she still has a long way to go to get on terms with her compatriot Marianne Vos, who once again proved that she is the greatest.
The Visma Lisa bike rider claimed yet another victory on the sport's biggest stage, taking stage one and the first yellow jersey at this year's tour.
Visma Lisa bike, huge lead out. It now hands over to Pauline Ferrand-Prevot on the front. Everyone looking for that wheel.
Pauline took a gap at 400 meters to go, and she had actually a really good gap.
Pauline Ferrand-Prevot accelerates away. The winner of Paris-Roubaix, the 15 times world champion who is stomping away.
Pauline was still hanging in for the finish, but in the end I saw her dropping the speed, so I was sprinted with Kim, and then we just catch Pauline, which is of course a bit a double feeling.
Here comes Vos, and she's tying up in the final meters. It looked like Pauline Ferrand-Prevot was going to take her, or is she? Vos looks back, they can't risk it. Vos moves out, Lecourt comes through, Vos takes it.
It's the Tour de France, it's the first day. Yeah, you can't really describe what it means. To start off like this, that's amazing.
The other Visma rider on one of those lifetime contracts is Wout van Aert. The Belgian finished the 2024 season sitting in the boot of his team car after crashing on a wet descent at the Vuelta on stage 16.
Oh, crash there, Engelhard.
Oh, no.
Wout van Aert as well, the first three riders within that group there.
Oh, my goodness. What a terrible thing after such an illuminator of this race. He knows himself better than anybody. He's going to take a few moments, and I hope so, but that knee looks terrible. Oh.
It was a season marred by setbacks, having also crashed at Dwars door Vlaanderen, which subsequently caused him to miss two races he's long yearned to win, the Tour of Flanders and Paris-Roubaix.
Early season form in 2025 suggested that not everything was right, and the chat was whether Wout would ever return to the very top again. That was, however, until stage 9 of the Giro.
Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, get ready. It's time to play the game. And it's Isaac Del Toro who's trying to blast off at the front. What a race we're watching here. The revolution starting to build. He has Wout van Aert on his wheel. Bernal is blowing up on Conle Pinzuto. It's Isaac Del Toro launching himself into the stratosphere of professional cycling. But Wout van Aert wants the stage win, and Wout van Aert is showing his best version since coming to this race. 600 metres to the top. They're sprinting up the hill here. Wout van Aert is hanging on. It looks as though it will be. Pink jersey to Del Toro. Stage win's going to go to Wout van Aert. Never, ever doubt Wout.
I had to fight ride all the way to the top, to the streets of Siena, and then I know the final pretty well. I need to do the move in the last few corners.
I try to go all in, and maybe in another planet I drop an Aert, but I cannot believe it, to be honest. It's like the best dream, and yeah, it's amazing. I cannot describe this.
Sometimes you lose, sometimes you win. But yeah, see how to approach it for the next one.
To win this stage after a long period without delivering, yeah, it feels so good.
That wouldn't be the last of the heroics that we'd see from the Belgian in Italy, reminiscent of stage 18 of the Tour, where he put in a defining performance in support of Jonas Vingegaard in 2022. He'd do something similar on stage 20 this year. This time, though, for Brit Simon Yates, proving once again that he really is the most valuable of teammates. Wout van Aert has always liked to save his best moments for the biggest stages, though, and that was never more evident than on the final day of the Tour de France. Having not yet won a stage, and with a new finishing circuit replacing the traditional sprint in Paris, he set his sights on doing something that no one had quite managed to do at this year's Tour: drop Tadej Pogacar.
It's Pogacar and Van Aert. Ballerini giving it big to try and fight. And we're down to 3. But look at Wout van Aert. Look at Wout van Aert. It's no longer just Pogacar. And Van Aert's riding away at the moment. What a performance from Wout. That's Ballerini done for. And the first rider to put a gap into Pogacar this Tour. It's not been the victorious Tour that Visma wanted. But it is going to have a beautiful, emotional ending. 50 wins in his career to now, but no moment like this one. One man in this Tour de France has been able to distance Tadej Pogacar. His name is Wout van Aert. He did it in Paris and on the Champs-Élysées. The 10th Tour de France stage win in the career of Wout van Aert is the most memorable, most glorious. Paris and the Champs-Élysées belong to Wout van Aert. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Another moment of the year, Simon Yates' redemption. Back in 2018, Yates seemed destined for Giro d'Italia glory. 1 minute and 24 seconds ahead of second place in the final week, and with 3 stage victories. And with the pre-tour favourite Chris Froome crashing in the warm-up on stage 1, he didn't look like the 4-time Tour de France winner that we all knew. However, Froome's victory on the mighty Monte Zoncolan was then a hint of what was to come. We saw the first chinks in the ever-so-attacking Yates armour on stage 18, where he lost 28 seconds to the other GC favourites, and then had this to say.
What happened exactly was not a climb for you, it was just one last climb at the end. It's not something that suits you?
I just couldn't go with the final acceleration, and that was it. And that's okay. That's okay.
The sensations are still good?
Yeah, I felt good until that last moment, so look, I'm still in front.
No worry at all?
No. Tomorrow is a much better day for me.
Then, on the slopes of Colle delle Finestre, this happened.
It's an endurance test today, that's for sure.
But the tempo's high. Sky wanted to take control of this race.
We are climbing the Colle delle Finestre. Chris Froome decided to stick on an absolutely everybody. Oh, and is it going to be a knockout blow? This is outstanding run right now. We've still got 80 kilometres to go, don't forget. And this man is starting to really suffer.
I don't think I've ever attacked 80 k's to go before like that on my own, and yeah, it was gonna take something really special today.
Can this man take 2 minutes and 54 seconds out of Tom Dumoulin?
It just felt good and thought, it's now or never, I have to try.
The first time in the history of the Colle delle Finestre that the Maglia Rosa has failed to hang on to it.
Oh, Chris Froome! Knockout performance!
Yates, who'd had an iron grip on the Maglia Rosa for the first 2.5 weeks, lost it in the most dramatic fashion to his compatriot, Chris Froome. Flash forward 7 years and a much more controlled Simon Yates returns, spending 19 stages barely putting his face into the wind. A young Mexican rider was looking fantastic in pink. That was until the famous climb made an appearance once again. It's Judgment Day.
When the parcours was released, I always had in the back of the mind to try and do something here.
Here we go. Colle delle Finestre about to begin. A climb that can act as judge, jury, and perhaps even executioner.
The Maglia Rosa, heartbroken.
It's time for Carapaz, and Isaac del Toro is pedalling for his Giro life. Simon Yates takes off on a mountain that means so much to him, and not necessarily in the best way.
I also had doubts this morning if I could really do something, but the guys there, they encouraged me and believed in me.
He goes, no reaction. What a story this is. He's on his way to redemption.
This is what fairy tales are made of. He's timed his run to perfection.
I was on the radio, blabbing, asking for the time gap because I really, I never really believed until the very last moment there. So yeah, I've been speechless really.
Enjoy these meters, Simon. It's all yours, It's all yours here.
It's redemption like we've never seen it. It is sensational.
That's amazing.
Remember where you were. The Colle delle Finestre now belongs to Simon Yates. It was a full celebration on the ride into Rome, and our very own Adam Blythe even got in on the act.
Hold on, there he is, look. Look at this pink get up here. You look wicked, mate, and well done. We're all proud of you. Have a good one today. Hey, you're getting involved in the lead-out? Just like old days, mate, on the track.
We've recently learned that Yates will return to defend his title in 2026. And finally, we couldn't finish our moments of 2025 without talking about Pauline Ferrand-Prevot. Returning to the pro peloton on the road for the first time since 2018, questions were asked as to whether she could still compete at the very top. Well, we shouldn't have worried. The only rider ever to hold the rainbow jerseys in 3 different disciplines at the same time, and the current Olympic mountain bike champion showed that form is temporary and class is very much permanent. She became the first French rider to win on the cobbles in Roubaix since 1997.
15 times world champion, Olympic champion, will now be crowned the Queen of Roubaix. Welcome back, Pauline Ferrand-Prevot, Paris-Roubaix femme, winner for 2025.
A trait of the Visma Lease bike rider's always been her ability to peak at the right time and in the biggest races, and that would be no more evident than what happened in the summer. After a quiet few months and fitness concerns causing her to pull out of the Vuelta meant that she went into the Tour with a good few doubts. The French rider started the Tour looking strong, a 3rd place on stage 1, just behind her teammate Vos. With undulating terrain, she kept herself in contention, and coming into stage 8, she was just 26 seconds off the lead.
The Col de la Madeleine, the big showdown. Big effort now from Pauline Ferrand-Prevot. France has another queen, Pauline Ferrand-Prevot. Can Pauline Ferrand-Prevot defend it all the way to the finish? Pauline Ferrand-Prevot now, and look at the gap that she's opened. Pauline Ferrand-Prevot is the stage winner on stage 9, but crossing the line in the maillot jaune. Pauline Ferrand-Prevot has delivered for France.
It was the first French win at the Tour de France since Jenny Longo in 1989. And she was there to celebrate with Ferrand-Prevot. And the winner even received a call from the president himself. Can she go back-to-back in 2026? Only time will tell. So that was 2025. What about 2026? It's almost begun. In the meantime, open your presents, have a good time. Merry Christmas, a very happy New Year, and we'll see you for the start of the season. Goodbye.